you understand?
Hey everybody, I'm Tony Jones, and welcome to the Tony Jones Show.
It's not that people are willing to take the risk. It's just sort of a herd mentality, a lemming-like mentality. If you don't go with the flow, you're anti-American and therefore a suspect.
The Tony Jones Show, featuring punk, rockabilly, psychobilly, and Providence, Rhode Island's finest, starts right now. He's a dangerous militia member, I hear.
Oh, and there she blows.
Kind of love, make a damn it rain for a girl like you. I crawl out of my grave, my blood runs ice, but my lips are cold. So you better get your fortune told. I came back for you, baby. You know the devil he made me. He's better than just you, but you know that I do too. We'll wear a black and dress in white, and makeup smear, the love ignites, a pencil and tangles. From her hair, the flames are there. I love a fan. I came back for you, baby. You know the devil he made me. He's got an interest in you, but you know that I do too. Kind of love, make a damn it rain for a girl like you. I crawl out of my grave, a pendulum dangles from my hand. The flames are there, you know I love a fan. 'Cause I came back for you, baby. You know the devil in me, he's got an interest in you. He's got an interest in you. He'll make a sign.
Friends, the time for mediocrity and broadcasting is over. My name is Tony Jones, and you are tuned in to the Tony Jones Show, your destination for talk and rock. Online at TonyJones.org. On Facebook, it's Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show. On the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with me. Just heard a little Adapter Redeemer, the name of that track. I want to thank everybody who I bumped into at the Empty Bowls fundraiser on Friday night. You know, I was thinking this is a high class event. Tickets are a little expensive. It's at the Rhodes on the Pawtucket. This is the classy, put on your tails, bring your walk-in cane type event. I won't run into too many people tonight. This is a classy joint. It's not the usual sticky floor dive that I hang out with. And throughout the course of the night, of course, I run into a ton of people I know, a lot of people from the food scene. They were asking about DJ Psycho Eddie. They were asking about all the hospitality stuff we have going on. I ran into Jim Nellis from Rhode Island Food Fights. So a great event that I have been supporting since the very beginning, which I can say in absolution because it's only been going on for 2 years now. So yes, I have been supporting that event since the very beginning, and I am proud of it. A big show for you on tap tonight. Davey Moore is going to be here. We're going to talk about, a whole bunch of things. We're going to talk about the This Is Providence Volume 1 and the subsequent volumes. We're going to talk about the upcoming Alchemy that's going to be opening in, one of my favorite places. When I tell you that I could have gotten my mail delivered to this place back in the day. We'll talk about that in just a bit. But before we get to that, we're going to get back to the music. And we're going to hear from the Grammy-nominated Courtney Barnett up next on the Tony Jones Show. One of my favorites here. It's Pedestrian at Best.
I love you, I hate you, I'm on the fence, it all depends whether I'm up, I'm down, I'm on the mend. What are we gonna do when everything all falls through? I must confess I've made a mess of what should be a small success, but I don't drink, at least I've tried my very best, I guess. This, that, the other, why even bother? It won't be with me on my deathbed, but I'll still be in your head. Pull me on the pedestal and I'll only disappoint you. Tell me I'm exceptional, I promise to exploit you. Give me all your money and I'll make some origami, honey. I think you're a joke, but I don't find you very far. My internal monologue is saturated analog. It's scratched and drifting. I've become attached to the idea. It's all a shifting dream, bittersweet philosophy. I've got no idea how I even got here. I'm resentful. I'm having an existential time crisis. What bliss? Daylight savings won't fix this mess. Underworked and oversexed, I must express my disinterest. The rats are back inside my head. What would Friday say? Put me on a pedestal and I'll only disappoint you. Tell me I'm exceptional, I promise to exploit you. Give me all your money and I'll make some origami, honey. I think you're a joke, but I don't find you very far.
I can't do that, Dave. The track you just heard, a little Jets Can't Land, right here on the Tony Jones Show from This Is Providence, Series 1, Volume 1, available at middayrecords.bandcamp.com. Before that, the Grammy-nominated Courtney Barnett, Pedestrian at Best. You heard it all here on the Tony Jones Show, Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones in RI. Be sure to go to rifreeradio.org and tonyjones.org. Before we get to Davey Moore, I have to remind you all real quickly about what's happening on October 8th at Firehouse 13. George Garner's Last Gasp. That's right. Instead of a traditional, quote-unquote, traditional bachelor party, he's putting on a free show for everybody with Wolfman Chuck and the Brimstone Boys, Necrophiliac Meat Circus, and Dead Girls Don't Say No. Now, DJ Psycho Eddie's here. Help me out with the name of our luxurious burlesque performer that'll be at George Garner's Last Gasp.
Honestly, I have no shot in hell of pronouncing your name properly.
I can do it. It's Rob Duguay.
Well, our burlesque performer has just announced on the Facebook events page that she will be debuting a new dart routine. Now, having seen her act at Firehouse 13 and other places throughout the years, I can only assume that this involves darts being thrown at her.
Well,
in some way, shape, or
got that
form.
hint as well, especially judging by the post where she said darts and Zach Barker were going to be involved. So I'm going to Acacia Salee.
That's what I'm going to go with.
I'm going to go with that.
Actually, from now until the last gas, I'm just going to make you say her name every time because I just can't do it. There's just some words that you just cannot spit out, and for some reason, that's one of them.
That and Juventude. That's another one I have a difficult time with. But Acacia Salee will be the burlesque performer.
Mm-hmm. Burlesque / freak show.
No, someone that pretty cannot be a freak show. I'm going to leave it at that.
Oh,
yeah. I'm a gentleman. I feel I have a hard time. You're pretty. You can't be freaky. It's my 12 years of Catholic school.
No, you have all the moves. That's what that is.
It's a good thing you never became a police officer because every hot chick that you pulled over, you would just send them off without a ticket.
Well, there would be
among other things. Well,
like that doesn't happen already.
My in-studio guest, he has more slashes after his "Hello, my name is" name tag. Almost as many slashes as I do. He's Davey Moore from Midday Records, the Midday Social, Satellites Fall, Music for Pause, and the upcoming Alchemy. So let's work backwards. Let's talk about Alchemy, which is going to be in the space that just one of my favorite places back in the day. I used to DJ there on Thursdays. Then I would sometimes DJ there on Sundays for the Goth Night. And then I would be there on Friday and Saturday, which was the old AS220 space in true Rhode Island form, the old Jerkies. And then for about 3 or 4 weeks, my good friend Jim Vickers had it as the PVD Social Club. So
it lasted a little longer than that, I think. Right?
Tell us about what you have coming up on tap over on Richmond Street.
For events or just what we're trying to do over there?
Both.
Up front, we're relying on a lot of outside promoters just because we're in 7 days a week. So we have a couple nationals coming through. We have a really good garage rock show from John White, who does a lot of the benefits. So the hell's that music?
Oh, the ethereal music you're hearing from the...
is that you?
No, that's downstairs.
I thought that was part of the show. I guess nobody can hear that except for...
No, nobody... Nobody can hear it.
Like something like tracking in the background as I tell my stories.
No, nobody can hear it come through the mics, but let's just say we're here in luxurious West Warwick, Rhode Island.
Yes.
Not for the ambiance, but for the rent. The very, 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 very low rent.
You have a good setup over here. I like this little setup. So John White's doing a good garage rock show with Jim Schwartz, Atlantic Thrills, Cosmonauts. Then we have some DJ nights. We have some goth nights. It's across the spectrum right now. Until we start settling in on here's what our Monday's going to be, here's what our Tuesday's going to be.
Of course, it's just a rule, probably when you signed all your licensing, that on Thursday night you have to have a college night up there.
Trust me, I know. And I don't want to think about signing all those forms. I'm still signing forms.
Well, let's get back to the music and we'll talk a little bit more. Actually, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but the track you just heard from Jets Can't Land is on This Is Providence,
How good was that?
Volume 1. I had a chance to play with those guys a few months back and at Firehouse 13, and they actually absolutely tore the roof off of the place. And they're one of those bands that seem to have been around for a while. I just hadn't had a chance to check them out. And even, with punk rock roots, when I see the track listing and when I see 6 minutes and 24 seconds, I get a little nervous, but that track just absolutely kills it for the full.
Can I be honest with
minutes.
you? When I was putting the compilation together, that occurred to me. Then I listened to it. I was like, this is too good not to be on.
Anytime I see over like 4 minutes, I get a little, I'm part of the ADD generation. I get a little nervous.
Me too. And then you want to make sure there's not like a 2-minute musical interlude or something that like
there's not a
doesn't keep
theremin
the pace up.
breakdown. We're gonna hear from the Magunks up next, who incidentally they'll be at Firehouse 13 on September 29th for Upstart Fest. When they come through town, they'll be opening for one of my favorite bands, the Queers, who are still out there and still touring. So be sure to check that out, or check out the whole Upstart Fest regional tour. So we'll have a double shot from the Magunks up next. Here's One for the Road. You heard it here on the Tony Jones Show.
Walking shadows crossing the floor. Last year's model jumping the door. Our lawyers left me here. Always talking, nothing is said. Whoa, taking it slow. Forever, it's all you know. Whispers, silent scream, selling stories, shaking dreams. Open bottles and loveless pop, staring over and falling apart. Whoa, whoa, take it slow. Forever, it's all you know. Whoa, one for the road. Take it easy, taking it slow. Forever, it's all you know. Whoa, one for the road. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Halfway to Hell, the name of that one, some Magunks right here on the Tony Jones Show. Then before that, we heard from the Magunks. Yes, a double shot of the Magunks. One for the Road, the track I brought you into when we last chatted, off of Highlights for Lowlifes, an album that they actually debuted here on the Tony Jones Show. And again, I'll mention the Magunks opening up Upstart Fest when they come through town on September 29th. Firehouse 13 opening for the Queers. Going to be a big night at Firehouse 13 and a solid tour. Be sure to check it out and check them out when they hit the... It's more of a regional tour. It's not one of those big package national tours. They'll be heading up and down the East Coast for Upstart Fest. Davey Moore is here. DJ Psycho Eddie is here. I hear that WBOB alum Rob Duguay is listening as we speak.
He is waited with bated breath right now for us to mention him. He thinks
He
it's
just-
because we're trying to boost your ratings.
Yeah.
I Rob, it's your story. Any way you want to tell it, man. If you need a hug, I'm here for you, brother. But I do want to mention a few names before we go back to Davey. Nina McCarthy, Amanda Salimi, Sean Murphy, Elizabeth Hanover. Okay, we'll go with that. Clef Leclerc. If you haven't listened to my show yet, you probably know, or if you have listened, you know I've been drinking since about noon. So
This is very, very true.
If I screw up your name, I would apologize, but I really won't.
The second
So-
I walk through the door, I get handed this little... Oh, shit, I almost dropped it. Sorry, I cursed. This bottle of Jameson.
Now, might I tell you?
Thank you.
Top
You're a
shelf,
great
top
host.
shelf liquor here.
Anybody
No.
else that I've ever handed any booze to has cracked it open very quickly.
No, that's normally me. I just had a rough night.
Honestly, Davey, you have me a little nervous. You
I'm-
you have not cracked open Jameson. It's like life.
I'm actually drinking the water. Like, there's something...
He did not crack open the bottle of mother's milk.
I'm having trouble looking at that bottle right now.
That happened to me with Jack Daniels back in the day as a young fella. I drank so much Jack Daniels that actually just seeing the bottle behind the shelf in the liquor store made me a little nauseous.
It's a conditioned response.
You just
It's
ruin
all the bad
yourself.
memories.
I have done horrible things to all different types of alcohol
People.
and
Oh.
myself. People too. I'm not gonna lie. I've done horrible things to a lot of things, but alcohol. I've been absolutely borderline on admitted to the hospital on Southern Comfort. It's still one of my favorite shots.
Now,
You just don't learn.
No, I'm a very simple man.
Now, for those of us who haven't had the privilege of being here in the luxurious Rhode Island Free Radio studios, we have what is known as pub height chairs all around our table with the microphones, except for DJ Psycho Eddie, who's sitting on a WWF style folding chair. Why don't you tell us why that is?
Well, right before I came here this afternoon, I had gone out for what I thought was going to be a simple lunch. However, I went to Millworks Tavern right over here in Westwall.
Okay.
And the chef over there, the cook, I will use the term chef. Her name is Donna. She's a good friend of mine.
Mhm.
A nice Sicilian girl. As soon as I said hi to her, I knew I was kind of screwed. But I ordered the nachos and I ordered a burger, and I finished it. And I probably should have stopped half a burger and half the order of nachos before I actually stopped. Add in a couple of, by the way, Wachusett Blueberry is on tap, and they do have fresh blueberries. So, needless to say, that being up that extra foot just was not going to be advantageous to me being here.
What we're telling you, folks, and Davey, is the fact that this man could just explode at any minute.
I'm right next to
I'm
him.
actually kind of glad he's off to the side of me instead of directly in front, because if the button on my pants goes, I would take out a limb. I'm pretty sure of it.
All right, let's get back on track here because a little while ago I played some Jets Can't Land. It's off of the This Is Providence Volume 1 compilation, which incidentally you can get online at middayrecords.bandcamp.com.
It's free.
It's free, and be sure to check out middayrecords.bandcamp.com because the other Midday Records that's out there is hardcore gangster rap. So make sure you go to middayrecords.bandcamp.com.
Are they still around? Or?
I think they're still around because every time doing my hours and hours of show prep for this show for you here today, I heard some gangster rap.
hours.
They're called Midday Records, but they're not a label or anything, right? That's just the name of their group.
I think
My
that's
understanding?
like they do like a mixtape type thing.
Okay. There's just like a big crew of them.
Yeah, yep.
Gotcha.
But so tell us about Volume 1 you can get now, and Volume 2 is in the works, and Volume 3 is also in the works, if I read correctly.
Yep. So I don't know if you remember the New England indie alt rock series.
Yes.
I think you guys downloaded a bunch of songs. So those started I think it was like 2010, maybe 2011, and it's sort of the same idea because back then I was more looking at sort of the New England market, trying to bridge the gap between Boston and Providence, all that stuff. And then I'm going to be honest about it, like you can't compete with Providence. So my home obviously became more Providence. And the idea of this series is I want it to represent any given night. So if you walk into Dusk, the Parlor, any venue in the city, this is what you'd hear. I almost want to say see, but there's no can't look at an MP3 wave file. An MP3 or wave file.
Depends on how much you've been drinking.
or whatever else you're
How much LSD has been
6 Adderall and a beer. I can see the music.
So much like our previous series, we're using local artists, their work for the covers. And my concept with this new series is to have, so series 1 will have 10 different volumes to it, or whatever the number is, with all one artist. Right now we're using Nate Cozzolino. And then when we go to series 2, we'll use another artist, do a bunch through that. So far we've had a really good reception with it. We probably have enough tracks for 5 or 6 compilations.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we're trying to keep them to 20 because I eventually am pressing them to hard copy. So if you put 65 tracks on, it's a little tough to do, even though you could do it digitally. Yeah, the next one's already ready to go. I just don't want to release them too quickly, so I'm going to wait for next month.
So it sounds like you have plenty of tunes in the pipeline. However, we know countless local musicians listen to this show. So are you still accepting tracks, and how do folks send those over?
Either we're friends on Facebook through there or midday.recordings with an S at gmail.com.
And send it over in WAV format, right?
Yeah, if you're smart, yeah. I say it all the time. I get a lot of MP3s, and I'm like, I don't know why you'd send anybody. I mean, I'm not an audio nerd, but it's still crap.
Tony Jones and the Cretan 3 is involved with the Punkade compilations, which is hundreds and hundreds of bands around the world, and we're specifically asking folks to send over waves, so that makes us have to bounce the MP3s, and so what is a comp of hundreds of bands could be a comp of thousands of bands if people would just send over the right files.
Yeah.
But
I have to convert them too because Bandcamp doesn't even allow you to upload MP3. Yep. There's not even an option for it.
However, everything I download from Bandcamp is all MP3.
You can download it as an MP3, but they want the quality going in to be, whatever you choose coming out. But
let's get back.
We're getting so nerdy over here.
We're turning. This is the audio nerd, which I'm sure out there somewhere in the vast.
Let's just drop names.
Vast world of podcasting.
Rob Duguay.
Mike Dell.
Todd Bose.
Todd Bose, yeah.
I was going to actually get into the almost bit rates and stuff like that, but I don't want to be labeled a nerd.
For me, it's the compression. You lose so much, but all right. I don't know what I'm talking about.
The problem that I
read that
have is the fact that I've been playing punk rock for going on 20 years, and I've been doing radio for close to 15 years, and I have a lovely girlfriend, so I can't hear anything. I mean, I just cannot. I can't hear anything anymore.
Well, your former day job probably reached
that didn't help. Well. And
I'm not gonna lie, I can't tell the major difference between a wave and an MP3.
No, you
like I know it's better quality. I can tell just by the size of the file.
Yeah.
My thing more is I don't feel like having to convert your file to upload it.
Size does matter.
Size.
Wow, I matter.
All right, let's get back to the music. Great up-and-coming band who recently switched singers, but did not skip a step. They'll still be performing on October 15th at the Riverside Sportsmen's Association. You can get tickets right now at facebook.com/1031NE. We had them in studio just a few weeks ago, and we're hoping to have them back, but this is going to be an annual Halloween party they put on, so you can get tickets through their Facebook page. We're going to hear from 1031 up next. I Will Not Drown. You heard it here first on The Tony Jones Show.
Thought I was weak, but here I am, leading through the rough and storm. Rain runs deep, I'm black and blue, never met before. I wonder why I cry like something I deserve. Lord, holding me in the water, I will not drown. When will I learn? I will not drown. I will not drown. I will not drown. Pushed through fire, it burns so deep. God, they got me through the worst. Thought you were stronger, but you are weak. Now I'm the one that you adore. Always wonder why I try like it's something I deserve. You're holding me in the water, I will not drown. Where will I learn? I will not drown. I will not drown. I will not always wonder why I try like it's something I deserve. You're holding me in the water, I will not drown. When will I learn? I will not drown. I will not drown. I will not drown.
Disaster, it is my favorite song. Familiar in all forms, it's all gone wrong. Disaster, it is my favorite song. Familiar song, familiar. It all flows, it's all John
Disaster, the name of that one, some Listen Lady right here on the Tony Jones Show. You can find them at listenlady.bandcamp.com. They have the Listen Lady 7-inch up there. Before that, we heard from 1031, I Will Not Drown. They're going to be playing on October 15th at the Riverside Sportsmen's Association in Riverside, Rhode Island. Facebook.com/1031NE. Be sure to check out their big show. You can get tickets right through their Facebook page. Now, last week, we talked a little wrestling here on the Tony Jones Show, and the one and only Dan Badandi was kind enough to bring some pizza in, and I just want to give another shout-out to Azo's Pizza. That hot wiener pizza, I mean, we pretty much devoured it here in the studio, but I was dreaming about that thing all week.
It was absolutely fabulous. Justin actually was the guy, I think he's the owner or the manager or whatever. Justin from Azo's Pizza, I can't thank you guys enough for sending that down, contributing to the delinquency of a fat guy.
Contributing to the fact that you're in the small chair this week. But two things, and this is an issue, it's true with all hot wieners. That was last Sunday. If you're listening live, it's the next Sunday. And we just got the hot wiener spell out of the curtains here in the studio. Now, I'm not too proud to admit, DJ Psycho Eddie, I admitted it to you. That was Sunday. We were here. Somehow, we left a little bit of pizza, 2 or 3 slices in the pizza box. So it was sitting on the table here, and I came down to the studio the following Monday, and I finished off that pizza.
It was technically not even 24 hours. So, yeah, all right. We've all done some pretty gross things, especially when it comes to pizza.
Leftover pizza's fine, but they had the hot wieners on it still.
This was just the pepperoni pizza.
Oh,
yeah, that was the hot wiener pizza we wrecked.
Yeah, that had the
I've never even heard of a hot wiener pizza.
A Twinkie at a fat camp. That pizza disappeared quick.
Probably free and pizza are 2 of my favorite words, and they were together here.
What about hot wiener?
See, I was skeptical on the hot wiener pizza. I honestly thought it was going to be
It sounds
gross.
disgusting.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be nasty.
Like I said last week, yes. I've had several incarnations of the hot wiener pizza. I have taco pizzas. If it's weird, strange,
you got to balance the hot wiener with the taco.
It's all about a balanced diet.
But whenever you look at a menu, I usually tend to go to the things that really freak other people out. Yeah. That's what I gravitate towards. So when I see the hot wiener pizza, it's you got to try it.
I'm not trying it. I'm
curiosity.
Good.
I actually went to the
I'm not
G
that
Pub.
curious.
I went to the G Pub.
Yep.
They had a Wiener Wellington.
Oh, good God.
You had beef Wellington.
Yes.
You had beef Wellington. Only you take out that steak and all the foie gras and you put in hot wieners. It was actually really good. And it's not just because I'm a Rhode Islander and fat and I like hot wieners. But you got to try it. And
you're talking to a guy that was looking up recipes like to make gourmet meals out of SpaghettiOs. So
SpaghettiOs. Oh.
I have a running joke with Mark Sharon, who sings for Satellite's Fall. He's part of Midday. I eat like quintessential white trash food. Like I grew up on Pop-Tarts.
There's nothing wrong with
that. Oh no. I'm fortunate if I'm 1 degree from white trash.
Hey,
so.
Every time I check my balance on the computer, my printer spits out a coupon for ramen noodles.
Oh, I was about to say ramen noodles, but that's every obviously I lived off those in college.
That's another thing too. My first apartment, I got the brick of ramen noodles from DJ's Wholesale Club, and just the smell of that when that packet opens, it just
that chickeny salty flavor.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah,
just like Mama used to.
My point was, he eats far better than I do. He's a foodie, which I hate that word, and I so want to find like a really really fancy recipe that involved like SpaghettiOs.
Well, I think Wiener Wellington is that recipe.
Well, no, that was a connection. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am gonna find that recipe.
DJ Psycho Eddie's is here, and Davey Moore is here. Again, go to middayrecords.bandcamp.com, and let's talk a little bit. This is something near and dear to my heart right now. You have Music for Paws coming up, and I'm fostering a dog right now, which is a first experience in my life.
We have a rescue. It's the best thing we ever did.
This dog was on death row, and so we got him off death row. He's right with me right now, and for those of you who know me, you know that I'm a sizable guy, and this dog is probably about, well, let's just say if I roll over or step in the wrong direction, this dog is back on death row. But tell us a little bit about that event.
Yeah, so we started Music for Paws, had to be 2, maybe 3 years ago now, at least 2. It was actually Tracy from Vulgarity. She came to me, it was around New Year's, she had a resolution that she wanted to do more to give back. And I said, why don't we do a benefit? We got Chris Connie, who at the time, this had to be 3 years ago, because the Phoenix was still around. He wrote the Phoenix. So the three of us got together. He wrote a big piece in the Phoenix. We did it over at Dust. The first one was outdoors and indoors, so we made it pet friendly. We just pick a different charity every time to give the proceeds to. We had another one scheduled. I believe we did a second one. It was just indoors because it rained out, and then we had a third one scheduled that just getting so busy never happened. Much like the last 2 midday socials. So I'm to the stage now where any event, the midday social will have a date that has a date. The midday release show. I'm just trying to actually bring back, a lot of the good stuff we were doing.
So let's go back.
You guys give me nothing. You just get all quiet. Why don't you leave me out there in the middle of the ocean float with no life preserver?
Well, we're kind of hoping that you're one of those.
I say
guys
something interesting.
No, you're one of those guys that usually has a lot to say.
I do have a lot to say, and that was a mouthful.
It was. Would you care to elaborate on that a little?
Well, what do you mean elaborate? I just told the whole thing. Yeah, so we usually have, obviously, bands performing. They donate their time because all the money is going to go to the charity.
Yeah.
I will release a compilation this time. You're going to be there. You're going to pay double at the door.
I will?
Yeah. Okay.
He's going to bring Wiener Wellington for all the animals. Let's
actually, we might need a DJ anyway, so yeah.
You can play dog-friendly music.
Gotcha.
Well, except this next one will be at Alchemy because it's the winter one. We're still going to do the summer ones at dusk, so we can do them outside. The winter one, I don't know if we can bring dogs up in the...
Getting that odor out would be much like getting the hot wiener odor out of here. But let's swing back to the music as we are kind of starting to run up against the clock here on the Tony Jones Show. So we're going to hear up next from Megan Casey, who was in studio just a few weeks ago. This track is Sea Monsters. You heard it here on the Tony Jones Show.
And if you need me, I'll be riding coattails and monsters of the sea. And if you need me, I'll be singing like I got 1,000 hungry mouths feet. And I'll be riding, and I'll be riding, and I'll be riding, yeah, I'll be riding. And I've had lovers before, most of them were true. They were all just rivers and lakes, but the ocean was you. So we'll be riding, we'll be riding, we'll be riding, we'll be riding. Come on and grab a knife and follow me. We're gonna celebrate Halloween. There's a party tonight with the demons. Well, a call from hell. They'll fly the way. And all the damsels have come out to play. There's a party tonight to take evil away. The face is a common thing. Everyone has something new. Jack-o'-lanterns are blue. There's a fucking party tonight. Now we'll gather around for the fist of the day. It's time to breathe back in the oven. There's a pumpkin party tonight where the dead are not dead. The face is a common skin. And the Lord has woven. Jack-o'-lanterns are glowing bright. There's a pumpkin party tonight. I made a deal with the devil. Now he's not too pleased. Now I'm only for eternity. There's a pumpkin.
One of our favorites around here, the Evil Streaks Pumpkin Carving Party. And the reason that I played that track this week here on the Tony Jones Show, by the way, before the Evil Streaks, we heard a little Megan Casey, Sea Monsters, the name of that track. I actually have to tell you about an actual pumpkin carving party. So actually, it dovetails in. Everybody in this room really believes in giving back, and we're just talking about that. And so we're having in my neck of the woods, Wickford Harbor Lights, but there's going to be a pumpkin lights, jack-o'-lanterns. So they're actually looking folks to volunteer some time to actually make the jack-o'-lanterns for the village. So if you go to facebook.com/harborlightsri, you can either come to the pumpkin carving party, or you can grab a handful of pumpkins and you can tear them up at your house and then bring them back down to the village. So it's facebook.com/Wickford Harbor Lights RI. Be sure to check that out. DJ Psycho Eddie's here. Davey Moore is here. And unfortunately, we're running short on time, so I got to kind of give the floor to Davey and let him go over everything that's coming up. Just a great time of year here in Rhode Island. So what do you have on tap?
Our first event actually is October 3rd, and it's, do you guys know Assemblage 23? It's a national touring band. I think they do more like a gothic.
I think I saw them at Club Hell.
A lot of
once.
people, yeah. I don't really know that genre, but there's a lot of hype about this show. It's through Eva Liz is actually promoting it. She's got a bunch of DJs on it, so that should be a good night. I'm actually going to bring up our calendar so I can promote some people for once. Do you guys give lessons at all for radio?
You want to learn how to be
Rob
more-
Duguay does.
Rob Duguay.
Rob Duguay was good on the radio.
Yeah. I would give him a show on this very station if he had transportation.
No, he was good when he was doing BOB. So the 10th, we have a good metal show. Red Handed Denial, Hampton Hollows, a bunch of other metal bands. 14th, as I mentioned, is a Garage Fest. Well, it's not the actual Garage Fest, but it's presented by the people that put on the Garage Fest. Yeah. Cosmonauts, Jim Shorts, Atlantic Thrills. And then we'll go out to the end of the month. The 21st, we have the Cosmic Factory, Cousin Earth, and Swimmer. So it's starting to fill up. The first thing that obviously goes is the weekends. Yep. So all our Friday, Saturdays are gone till the new year.
Nice.
Yeah, just fill in those other days, which can be.
We're
We're aiming for 7 days a week.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's coming along. I don't know if you guys ever bought a venue, but it's a lot of work.
No, not in recent memory.
It's much like buying
In my defense, though, I have been drinking.
This is true. Yeah. I mean, it's a combination of like buying a house and starting a business at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like it's just so much paperwork, but we're moving along. We still have a couple odds and ends. A lot getting done this week, and then the 5th is our final meeting with the city. So all goes well. We'll have alchemy.
It's all contingent on that meeting, right?
Yep, that meeting. Yeah, I mean things could still go
Right.
Yeah,
go
I
sour.
mean, there's always a chance of that.
You could not bring a big enough bribe.
I think my money was spent the first week I started this. Can I just give a quick shout out though? Before we go. I always talk about the community. You know, my love for Providence, obviously, because of how much support we have. The people that have gotten behind me and supported this whole venture, obviously dear friends like Rick from Dusk and people we all know, but Anthony from the Coliseum, had no dealings with him before. He found my number through the city council, through the board.
Through Grindr.
Huh? Through Grindr? No, but he called me up. He was the first one to be like, look, if you need any help, I was where you were 7 years ago, whatever it was. Jamie and Terry from Scurvy Dog have been a resource like no other. I mean, I've had a couple meetings with them, and everything from who I need to use for distributors to what to look out for this, that. I mean, just all sort of the inside stuff that you're learning as you go along. And then, like I said, of course, all my close friends, Midday family. You guys for having me on. I love you guys.
We're gonna have to hug this out.
Yeah, seriously, this is getting real now.
Well, let's hug it out to some. Oh, don't forget to go to middayrecords.bandcamp.com.
That is free, and it has Quinn's, No Plateau, Grand Evolution Cast Club. I'm not gonna name them all. Obviously, Eric the Nothing. It's a good snapshot of the talent we have in Providence.
So we're going to leave here with a little Hunter up next for you. A little Hunter, because we're going to have to cut this short. But we're going to hear Smooth Seas Never Made for a Skilled Sailor. DJ Psycho Eddie, thank you. Davey, thank you as always.
Thanks, man.
Go to TonyJones.org, Facebook.com/Tony Jones Show, and on the almighty Twitter at Tony Jones. All right. Bye, everybody. Bye.
One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You're my left-hand man. You're a habit I can't stand. Duty calls right when we found land. You were fishing and I was swimming. I got caught inside your net. I am your best bet. When you're sailing around the world, I won't mind being the girl. With each wave you hit, no.
From Monday to Tuesday, you don't have any fun. From Wednesday to Thursday, just going out for a run. Friday to Saturday, you always get it done. And Sunday, you say, I don't never go to
I can see that your reality is slipping. Lost its balance at the door. On your way down, look out for the floor. I won't lie, it was my fault being unreal. Why did you believe your mirrors and smoke? Now you're just the one trying in my toes. Yeah. And you see obsession. It ain't the light on the wall. no objection. There's only laughing at you. Oh, yeah. It wasn't just a communication breakdown, but a lifetime's worth of insanity. Saying I love you, but I don't care, 'cause I'm finally free. Yeah. Oh yeah. And you see your sunshine, and you're rocking on the wall. But I got no objection. There's only nothing when you fall, yeah. Have you lost your mind? Was it ever there that we all like this comes from there? Can you find your place? Do I even care or not? But the effort is better off this way. Can you read your sunshine? Can you writing on the wall? But I got no objection. So you laughing when you fall. Can you see? Can you see? Can you
All right, welcome, My Night Outers. That was 3 Parts Dead. Name of that song was Feed. You are listening to My Night Out Radio, only on RI Free Radio, at least for right now anyways. In studio tonight.
Because you got fired from that other station.
I think it was a mutual go pound sand situation from the other one. But in studio tonight, we have the one, the only, Davey Moore.
Oh, thank you.
He has so many different hats he's throwing into the ring for tonight.
Were you just about to tell a story that's one of those can't say this on the radio stories?
There has yet to be a story that I will not say on the radio.
Because if you remember, I had a short-lived podcast.
Yes.
That turned into a radio show. We filmed one episode, I guess you'd call it, here.
Yeah.
I want to bring it back, and now I'm thinking of a new concept of everything someone tells you that says, don't bring this up on the radio. But I want the whole show just to be the stuff that you're not supposed to.
I honestly, I've told the story of the most hilarious lap dance ever.
Yeah.
Trust me. My wife was in studio sitting right next to me, and she was
You're a brave man.
No, it's...
No, your wife's
I
awesome,
am
though.
absolutely honest. I will not sugarcoat anything. If I
Yeah.
think you're a turd, I will call you a turd. But you, my friend, are not
Yes,
a turd.
thank you.
You are an entrepreneur extraordinaire.
Yeah? Is that it?
As you can tell, ladies and gentlemen, I am slightly rebranding the My Night Out Radio. We're going to keep the same name, but I'm just going to drink a lot more during the podcast.
You know what? I'm going to finally join you with
See?
my bottle of Jameson.
Now, part of coaxing Mr. Moore in, we had to give him a little bit of liquid courage.
Cheers.
Cheers. By the name of Mr. Jameson. Mr. Jameson stopped in nicely.
Oh, that hit the spot.
Oh, yeah, I can tell by the face.
Oh.
We're going to need a bucket soon. However,
I already said it was a rough night last night.
Oh, it could be a rough night
Didn't have
tonight
any
as
gum.
well. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be part of the show, if you want to come on the air like Mr. Moore over here, My Night Out Radio at Verizon.net, MyNightOutRI.com for all your upcoming events. My Night Out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Look me up, DJ Psycho Eddie. I also cannot forget Mr. Tony Jones on the soundboard, making me sound as wonderful as you think I sound. Thank you for coming in tonight, Tony.
It's not an easy job.
No, I know. Besides that, you are also CEO and janitor of RI Free Radio.
And I swept the floor today when we came down here.
Which I was going to thank you because I have a tendency to walk barefoot. If anyone doesn't know that.
And first thing I noticed when you came to the door, besides
yeah.
a bottle of Jameson in your hand, was
Jameson
no shoes.
beard.
He was carrying it with his feet.
He's like, yeah, let me pour you a drink. I'm gonna pass.
I'm practicing in case I lose an arm. I can still pour a beverage. Well, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this, I got to talk about the meat and potatoes of the stuff that I have put down my neck hole in the last week.
Okay.
The first place I got to talk about, right here in West Warwick, beautiful downtown West Warwick, Millworks Tavern, Providence Street, West Warwick. I've talked about this place several times. The head chef, cook, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go with chef Donna. She will bring tears to your eyes. I mean, the food is amazing. She always does exactly the way you want it. I can't say enough about it. Of course, this time of year, Wachusett Blueberry is still on tap, or is just on tap. They have fresh blueberries floating in the Wachusett Blueberry. It was exquisite.
By the way, that's when I knew the craft beer trend had just gone too far. When bars in West Warwick have Wachusett Blueberry and fresh blueberries.
Well, I gotta say, and I'm not blowing my own horn, but when I was working for Blazes Billiards was one of the first places in West Warwick to actually stock on the regular Wachusett Blueberry.
Weren't they doing shows too?
They were doing shows. They did all sorts of stuff there. The basement was an entirely different situation, but we'll leave that alone.
I don't know what that. I don't know.
You
know
don't
what
want
that
to talk
means.
about that on the radio.
That will be on my new show coming up.
That's one of those things you can't put on the radio. But
Good, I need
tell
material.
You stories. I also stopped by Azo's Pizza. Actually, was it last Sunday? Dan Badandi from New England Wrestling. What is it? World. Throw me a bone here, Tony.
New World Wrestling.
No. Let
Extreme.
him just.
Wrestling Extreme.
Wait, didn't you
Do
attend
what
the
you
show
guys did
last
to me.
night?
Do what you guys did to me. Just let him
Leave me hanging.
flounder out in the water there.
Okay, the NWWE /AIWF New World Wrestling Extreme AIWF Wrestling Show. That was last night at the American Legion Post 85 in Woonsocket.
That was good.
Got that all out in one breath.
Except for the laptop in front of you. But yeah.
It helps.
The best part of the food that was provided that last week was that I had bumped into Dan Badandi earlier in the week. We were talking about him coming down to do the shows, and I jokingly said, "Hey, bring us some pizza." And what does Dan Badandi do? Brings us some pizza.
I gotta say,
That's all it takes.
That's all it
Yeah.
took.
2 blondes and a brunette.
no way. Just
No, I'm requesting 2 blondes and a brunette.
But
No,
it's
no, it
going to be
doesn't work
West
that way.
Warwick blondes and brunettes. So
Yeah.
Never mind. I rescind my.
It's
request.
the summer twins. Some of their teeth are there.
Oh.
Anyways, I did attend the NWWE AIWF Blood and Bones 6 last night up in Woonsocket. The matches, 8 matches. It was pure wrestling excitement. I mean, the people that were there, it was just electric. They had like 120, 140 people in this little venue, and they packed the place. And there were some high-flying moves. Dan Badandi, as you had mentioned just a few minutes ago, Dan Badandi, the Bionic Bull, he pulled out a victory off the Big Bear. Big Brown Bear? Big Bear? I don't know. The guy came out dressed as a bear, so I'm going to go with the Big Brown Bear. What was his name? Chainsaw. He came in. He squeaked out.
That sounds like a bad 80s gang.
No, Chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
Chainsaw
Get over
was
here.
one of the wrestlers. He is. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but I'm going to say it anyways.
Save it for my show.
Well, no, I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it on my show.
Okay.
Too, because I'm being honest.
Yes.
Jim Allen, who is the owner of the.
oh no,
New
you
World
can't break
Wrestling
kayfabe.
I can't. Oh, sorry. I'm going to do it anyways.
Hey, when I wrestled, I used to have a masked character, and the name of the character was actually not Tony Jones, and it was just me wearing a mask.
Well, how do you hide 6'10" tall?
It was just me wearing one of those lucha libre masks.
But anyways, Chainsaw, he got a victory as well. It was a disqualification, so he did not win the belt because you can't win a belt on a disqualification. The rest of the match is pure excitement. It was very well worth the
now
money
this
paid.
This is local.
This was New England wrestling.
No, I know, but I mean amateur.
Semi-pro, pro.
Is it?
Yeah. Brandon
I
Webb.
don't know if you were in some kid's backyard.
No, there were no mattresses, no piles of leaves involved. This was actual in a ring.
He was in some kid's backyard, but he couldn't go
There's
within
a-
100 yards.
There's an
It was someone else's
There's an
backyard.
intermission where you hear the mom yell out dinner. You're like, all right, guys.
Show's canceled.
But
half
no,
hour.
I gotta say, I had a really good time. I brought my niece and nephew, 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
They had a blast. My wife, well, she's not really into wrestling, but she was there because it was at American Legion.
And she's still not into wrestling.
Yeah, no, she does not like the wrestling at all. But she stuck it out because we're going to American Legion. They usually have well poured cheap drinks. I did, however, control the urge to drink last night. I did not drink, but it was a hell of
I
a
was
time.
trying to do that the moment I walked through the store.
Yeah, that's not going to work.
No,
I am usually the person that starts the.
I feel good now.
I'm a bad influence.
Let's have another one.
Let's do it. Okay, well, as we have this next sip of beverage, we're gonna go. We're gonna take a little break. We're gonna leave here with David Begin. The name of the song is "Love and Lust." We'll be back in a minute.
His head just exploded.
Your eyes are fire, they spark desire, caught you stare. You make me higher than the smoke that fills your lungs. And the light hits your body, feeling so naughty. All the crazy things you crave and what you got inside your wild mind. Your kiss is a chronic mix, gin and tonic. The motion of your body is written like a sonnet. And all things they flow in time. Will you be mine? Love, lust, it's terrifying. Which way do we go? Love, lust, it's mesmerizing. I just wanna know. But I'm way till the morning comes. Till the morning comes. I taste affection when you come and from your arm. I post a picture and you like it from the start. I see you wearing my t-shirts mixed with some reverb and a couple drums, guitar, and then a reverb to see if you're my kind. And all our music sometimes party this time, pull the words together, try to make a rhyme, and I want to call you mine. Where will you find love, lust, it's terrifying. Which way do we go? Love, lust, it's mesmerizing. I just wanna know. Love, lust, it's terrifying. Which way do we go? Love, lust, it's mesmerizing. I just wanna know. But I'm way till the morning comes. Will you be mine?
mind. Love, lust is terrifying. Which way do we go? Love, lust is mesmerizing. I just wanna know. Love, lust is terrifying. Which way do we go? Love, lust is mesmerizing. I just wanna know. But I'm away till the morning comes.
I gave you a child, you didn't want it. That's the most that I have to give. I gave you a house, you didn't haunt it. Now where am I supposed to live? I gave you a tree and you did not embrace it. I gave you a nightmare and you didn't chase it. I gave you a dream, you'd only wake from it. Now I'll never go to sleep again. I gave you a treasure, you'd only take from it. At the hole where jewelry had been. Baby, why must you escape from it? This love we once called a friend. Gave you my body and you ate it. I gave you 10 lives and you wasted 20. I'm standing empty, helpless and bare, without a morsel left of me to give. You have vanished into the air in which I must live.
All right, My Night Out is. I know that's a little different than what you used to listening to My Night Out, but awesome.
Allison's voice is beautiful.
That was
Absolutely beautiful.
Allison Callery and Bob Kendall. I Gave You, which is the Bonnie Prince Billy cover.
Yep.
Before that, you heard David Begin. Name of the song there was Love and Lust. And
Dave
now-
Began used to be part of Satellite Fall with me.
Yep.
And part of Midday. He's doing C9, I think he calls his production company.
Okay.
Yeah, he's doing his own thing. And and obviously acoustic now, solo.
Now, this is the reason why I'm glad we're on a podcast, internet radio station, instead of a terrestrial radio station, because I get to do stuff like this.
I thought you were going to scream out like a curse word or something. You crack a beer.
No, I actually try to keep it PG-13 because there are people that listen at work.
And plus, with the two of us sitting here naked, nobody can see that.
Of course.
We're fine.
However, when we develop the video later, this will definitely be on a blooper reel.
Says you.
I'm going to need a whole lot of pixelation for that.
Just use a wide-angle lens.
I don't need much.
Okay, now let's get down to the meat and potatoes with Mr. Davey Moore over here.
Oh.
You've got a lot of crap going on in the next couple of months.
Yeah, I try not to think about that.
One stomach ache, one aneurysm at a time.
There's a law school thing too.
Oh yeah, we forgot about that. So now
I'm
you're
doing,
going to
I'm
law
doing
school.
immigration work right now, which I actually very much like.
Cool.
Yeah, right across from the AS220. That's where the law school's clinic is.
All right.
So it's nice to be in Providence every day.
Good.
Yeah.
Because before you were in Fall River.
The law school is actually out in Bristol.
All right.
Yeah. Well, the summer I did defense work in Fall River. Yeah.
Okay.
But now I'm doing immigration work.
Now, when are you going to start doing entertainment law? Because really, I
took a copyright course and some other stuff, but I feel like with that you have to move out to New York or California or something if you really want to, earn a living at it. So my thought is, if I could be a resource to local artists, I probably wouldn't even. I can't say I would charge them, obviously, but depending on the situation, every situation.
That's part of the
I will be a resource, even if I don't hold myself out as an entertainment attorney.
Well, that's part of the reason for that bottle of Jameson that I handed you earlier.
Yeah.
Because you helped me through a difficult time with someone from, I believe it was Africa, was trying to tell me to get rid of my my business name. And
I remember
you had
that,
helped me through that.
Yeah.
So,
Can you help me with the how the best to pay the taxes on the check for 25 cents that Spotify sends Tony Jones to the Green Tree every quarter?
I cannot give legal advice until I pass the bar. Right now, I can only do immigration work because under Rule 9, if you're a third-year student, you can practice under your supervising attorney's license.
okay.
So I am a practicing attorney, but that's because I'm going through my supervisor's license. Right. So I can only do anything in the capacity. I know you guys weren't serious, but I just want to be clear so I don't screw anything up in my life. I can only practice immigration work through the clinic.
Okay.
Until I pass the bar, then I can do whatever the hell I want.
Well, now let's get to the fun stuff.
Yeah, nobody gives a about that.
No, I actually do care because, trust me, in my life, I'm going to need several lawyers.
Yeah.
I just keep screwing up. And
you know what? I actually was naive enough to think going to law school, like, all right, well, I'll save money on attorneys in my life and stuff. The first thing with this whole venue thing is I had to go get an attorney. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to.
After bringing your wife to a wrestling show last night, you may need a divorce attorney.
Trust me. If that's what she's going to divorce me over after the crap that I've put her through in the last 25 years, a wrestling show is not even a drop in the bucket, my friend.
It is a good feeling when you know, like, I could almost do anything now because over the last, we've been together almost 20 years. So over the last 20 years, I've done far worse.
She has kept me from killing myself for more times than I care to even count.
Jesus.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's horrible. Like I said, I abuse myself, and not in that way, Mr. Jones.
Okay.
But let's get back to the fun stuff that's going on in your life. You're opening a club.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yeah.
You're trying to. Yeah. The attempt.
Everything.
Ducks are in a row.
Everything's the bulk of it's done except for this final meeting with the city.
Okay, so what's the name of the club?
Alchemy.
Yeah. How did you come up with that?
We were playing. There's a few people involved helping me. I mean, like obviously everything's through midday. It's my venue, but I'm trying to surround myself with the right people.
Yep.
So I have a good team so far. We got Noah from Fat Squirrel, Amanda from Consuelo's Revenge. Yep. She's bartending at dusk in the parlor.
Which I have to apologize
for her last name.
For screwing up her last name. I will just call her Amanda.
She's been an
Revenge.
Incredible resource. I try not to talk about, like, because I get the question all the time, like, do you sleep, this and that, because I try to do so much.
Yeah.
The truth is I'm as lazy as they come. I could not leave the couch for 3 days at a time. I just have my spurts.
All I have
but
to do is
honestly
look around the room.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to do half of this without a support system.
Yeah.
And I do seek out guidance and from people I respect and trust. I'm not, that arrogant that I think I know it all.
And I haven't seen some of the people that you're using as references and people that you're talking to. I got to say, you're going cream of the crop. You're not just anybody that runs a business.
I think you're as successful as.
It's not like you gave Rob Duguay a job.
I gave him some dates to book. I truly believe that you're as good as the people you surround yourself with. So okay. I have Eric Benoit, who's been very loyal to Midday.
Yes.
He's the only one that's part of the Midday crew prior to Alchemy. I went through my spurts with law school and stuff where I had to take breaks, and he kept it going.
Yeah.
And I've had other people, and people tend to go off and do something similar. Cosolino's an example. He's a good friend. He was part of Midday for a short period. He's got his Madcap stuff and all that going.
Yeah.
We were just talking about Dave Began. He was part of Midday. And now he's doing C9. So it's tough. it's people come and go, and you remain friends. But like I do want a steady sort of support system. So I've actively gone out and I include some of those people in all my correspondence, and we have meetings together and stuff like that. So I'm trying to do it right.
Now, tentatively,
yeah,
as you're making sure everything else that you have to do is in a row.
Uh-huh.
You have shows already booked for the next.
Yeah, well, because this process started early summer. I mean, I think it took like 9 weeks to get a date with the city. It's been a long time. I held off as long as I could. I mean, I have obviously assigned purchase, sales, and lease and all that stuff, but there's still odds and ends that have to be done.
You still got to dot the I's and cross the T's.
I have to hit the ground running, so I knew we were going to lose August. Figured we'd lose September, so I started in this months ago. So I'm like, I'll be safe and start trying to get stuff in the books for October, November, December. So when we're good to go, we don't lose a month now trying to book stuff. Yeah. And lo and behold, we're approaching October now, and we're cutting it very, very, very close. I mean, down to almost the day.
Yeah.
But everything that needs to be done is getting done. Everything's scheduled that needs to be scheduled.
What is your tentative open date?
Open date by the first event, or like when we actually do a grand
when
opening?
You're actually all set and you're ready to start running.
Yeah, our first event is October 3rd.
Okay.
There's a technical way we're doing that event, which I'm not going to get into the nerdy stuff. And then we have an event on the 10th, so we have a little bit of a week break in there. Once everything is concrete, I will pick a date within there and have that as sort of like a grand opening. I don't know what the hell you'd call it. Open house, grand opening. So I want people to come to the venue, check it out, hang out, stuff like that. So that will be our big, hopefully, kickoff.
Okay.
So I guess you would call these other ones soft openings. Or,
soft opening?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the terminology. I mean, they're all very important events.
I'm not even looking over and I can hear Tony giggling at the term soft opening.
Well,
soft opening.
I was just with all the maturity in my body, I had to bite my tongue, and when you said soft opening, not say giggity.
Well, but one other thing, really quick, we're also going to do the This Is Providence YouTube channel, which will be filmed at the venue. So that's going to be very much like the compilation series, where when we have artists perform at Alchemy, we'll film it high def, really good quality, and then I think instead of sharing full sets, we'll just do individual songs.
Yep.
So eventually, you'll go to that page. It'll be like a visual of the compilation. You'll have 100 different Providence bands. Instead of watching 40-minute sets, you'll just see a good song by Consuelo's Revenge, a good song by Rice Cakes, or whomever.
Okay. Well, hold that thought, because that's actually what I was going to touch upon after the break. But jumping the gun, it's okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right.
I can't read your mind.
Well, as you can tell by my screen right now, I have really nothing.
I see no notes, no anything. I see a bottle of Jameson. I see an empty bottle of
Dr. McGillicuddy's.
Yeah, butterscotch there.
Oh, yeah.
I see our Narragansett light. Oh, no, the light's gone. What is that
the
one?
light was the last one. This is
Pilsner?
the Bermuda-style Pilsner.
Yeah.
It's actually quite good. If you want to help yourself, I
no, I'm
think
going to
there's
have more Jameson, I guess.
Jameson?
Go figure.
Okay. Well, while we're getting refreshed, we'll leave here, take a break. We're going to listen to No Plateau.
Yeah.
The name of the song is Suspension. By the way, this is all off of the latest midday release, and we'll talk about that in a few minutes, too. This is No Plateau, Suspension. We'll be back in a minute.
Well, all the cliches in the books, I'll try to know. Keep calm and carry on. It'll open another door. The speaker song represents. All I think of is suspension. Something suddenly saying over bridge and connection. I can't blame you for quitting, but I can't thank you for trying. 3 years that I'm wasted to make sure that we're mine. I drank all the cliches, puked them all up. Regurgitation was fine with you. It's not with me, it would never be. You speak of imperfection like it was unexpected. Everything I ever lived, galactic, manipulating emotions. I can't blame you for walking out, but I can't thank you for sticking around. Let me with my open mouth, pointing blaming myself. Yelling, blaming myself.
Look into the conductor's eyes. She don't feel yet, she don't cry. She's the one that gives you tell. We the one that lays you rest. You know you won't stay static. You know you won't stay static. You know you won't stay static. Oh yeah. to the conductor's side. Wasn't much of a surprise. But I'll be all that you can. Fly with us, we are the town. I said with a girl. Dead static. You know you want dead static. You know you want dead static. Oh
All right, my night outers. That was Rhetoric. The name of the song was Dead Static. Before that, we heard No Plateau. The name of that song was Suspension. Now, before we continue on, of course, we have Davey Moore in studio, Tony Jones making me sound as wonderful as I am.
Which, by the way, after that conversation we had about, Davey's aspirations in the legal field, and as we were at that break, I was returning some emails because I work 24 hours a day, and I accidentally made a disclosure that was covered under a non-disclosure. As we just talked about that.
How much money you got on you?
I'll give you a bottle of Jameson.
Sold.
Well, at least we got that covered. Well, there are a few people we do need to say hello to. They've tuned in. They've been commenting on Facebook throughout the show.
Probably making fun of me, bastards.
No, actually, they have not. Well, only one of them, two, maybe three.
Okay, all of them.
No, Rob Duguay, of course.
Yeah, you know that's coming.
He's gonna bust. Thankfully, I was there the night that the war ended, when people thought you and Rob were battling back and forth, and we had to take a picture at.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a foggy night for me as well.
Yeah, that was one of those.
It was on 11/11 at the 11th hour.
It was. Well, anyways, we got to mention Jeff Danielian.
Yeah, I screw up his last name all the time too. He's out of Warren. He's a real. He's a good friend, but he's also a supporter of the music scene. He just released two. I think he's on a second book of poetry.
Okay. We have Bill Lepedamine.
Yeah, he's a Providence staple. He's
Staple.
everywhere. Yeah.
Okay. I screwed up her name last hour.
Yeah. You're gonna go for this?
Amanda Salemi.
All right, I'll give you that.
Okay. Well, Amanda, if I pronounce
she'll
it
give
wrong
you that.
This time,
I'm speaking for Amanda all of a sudden.
Of course, Todd Bowes. We have Matt Hebert out there.
He's from Cat Has Claws. Matt.
Which one?
Matt's from Cat Has Claws.
Cat Has Claws.
They're
be
on the
playing a
compilation.
little bit later on.
Nice.
We also have to say hi again to Nina McCarthy from B&B Entertainment. Yeah. Or is it BB Entertainment or BN?
I think it's BB.
So you butchered her name last hour. You said her name right this hour, but you butchered her business.
So what should you want to go try again?
As true to form, my only excuse, and it's not even an excuse, it is the truth, I've been drinking.
Nina's a friend, and she's somebody I'm happy that's out there. Because one of the not consequences, I don't know, side effects of opening the venue is I'm not going to be able to do as much as what I was doing before.
Yep.
As a promoter, I used to try to do as much as I could all through Providence. Help all the venues, help as many bands as possible. There's a few people that follow that model and are very, very fair, and they're not the promoters that, they make promoter not a four-letter word. And Nina's one of them. Nate Cozzolino's another one. John White's another one. Jacob Wolf, he's doing a lot of stuff at Aurora and the Wolf stuff.
Yep.
There's so many Dave Began's booking now. Joe from Zero Holds used to be Roman numeral 3. He's doing F and Rad booking.
Okay.
So there's a lot of people out there now with a very similar model where they spread the love through the city, but very low barrier of entry and no forced pre-sales, all that stuff. Just a standard 3 or 4 band bill. Yep. Pay at the door, pay the bands afterwards. Cool. Some of the fairest promoters in the city.
Now, I gotta say, hanging out with Nina is pretty cool. I actually went to a camp out, a music camp out where we had
Yeah. I know which one it was.
Chuck Mosley.
He's talking to the wrong person.
But, no. I was saying I had a chance to chat with Nina and quite a few people that play around, and they really nice people.
Yeah. She books at her own convenience. She definitely falls in the category of promoter, and she definitely loves the.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she goes to the many shows that she can display.
You get a chance to talk to her though. You talk to her at length.
Yep.
She is probably one of the sweetest people.
Oh, absolutely.
She's Nina. I love you.
Most of the people that are, in my humble opinion, doing it right tend to be very nice, humble people. They're doing it more for the love of the arts and to give back. It's not, they're not thinking it's going to be a great business model. As a promoter in a small market, I mean, there's not enough money to go around. Most bands are lucky to get $20 to go buy a pizza. Venues are struggling to keep their doors. All right. I'm not going to go off on promoters.
I felt horrible one night having to give a band. In fact, Tony was at that show as well. Do you remember YMC, where by the time we split the door and everything else, these guys came down from New Hampshire and I gave them $20.
But that's what there is. That's what there is.
But
not every show's a home run.
Exactly. But
you guys want to talk about pay to play? Totally kidding. Totally kidding.
Not going to go down that road.
But can I say something about the compilation?
Sure.
So you made a good point. You played Alice and Calorie.
Yep.
And then we played a band like No Plateau. That's my favorite thing about this compilation. Is it's not tied to one genre. It is a snapshot of what happens in Providence.
Yep.
So I purposely reach outside of my own circles. I mean, they're friends, but like I want this to represent, acoustic performers, garage rock bands, metal bands, whatever, across the punk bands.
Yeah.
Anything that any artist that has made their home Providence.
Okay.
So, and I think
that's
I think what
you're
playing is a good snapshot. The stuff you're playing is a good snapshot.
Well, I went across. I did get a chance to listen to this whole album.
Nice.
And I can't say enough about it. It has everything from the really mellow to somewhat aggressive. I'm not going to be full on heavy metal, but aggressive music, which is right into my comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I really, I'm going to burn this and I'm going to play it in my truck.
Nice. We're going to do hard copies too. The reason we're limiting them to about 20, because obviously something digital, I can put 100 artists. The reason we're breaking it up to series 1, volume 1, volume 2, is each one will have 20, and then we're going to burn them to hard copy CD. And I want to thank Caleb. What the hell's his last name? Ezra. I don't know. Caleb. Is it?
Ezra?
Well, he has another one. I'm going to screw it up, and then Amanda will kill me. He begins with a P.
It's okay. You've been drinking.
I did have 2 shots of Jameson. Anyways, he actually mastered the entire thing at no charge. Wow. And we're going to use mastering as a loose term because he wasn't going in messing with the EQ and stuff because the artist...
He was just bringing up the levels.
The levels are all even across the board, so you can have an enjoyable listening experience when you're in the car.
Well, every time.
And he did that just to... It's the same reason we released the comp, just to give back and try to help out.
Well, actually, if you go into my truck right now, I only have 3 CDs because I just got a new truck.
Britney Spears.
Missy Elliott.
No, it's all local music. Yeah. However, my old truck, when I sold it, it still had a few local CDs, local band CDs in the player, and I must have taken 50, 60 local CDs. People that come up to you at a show, here, have a CD, here's our music. Yeah. I had to have 50 or 60.
That's a midday social.
Well, the midday social I have to thank for a lot of things.
One of them
is the sheer volume of music I ended up with. Number 2, I went to, I think it was the second or third midday social was my first one. And I can attribute that to the success I've been having in the last couple of years.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I'm to the point now where I'm fighting for a weekend off instead of trying to get a booking. I've had more bookings since April than some bands have in their entire career.
Yeah, that's extremely good. It's been we had a couple on the books. The last 2 have been rescheduled, and that's on me. That event, out of everything I do midday related or music related, that event takes so much to put together.
Oh yeah.
I do have some people helping out, but a lot of them are the people that show up to those events, the radio stations, the promoters, the venues, the publications. Those are all my friends and contacts. So usually that invite has to come from me. Then I'm chasing people around. I'm trying to put the panel together. I just waited too long in the last one with law school and everything else. It was just too much. So I will be putting one on the books because I think it might be close to definitely over a year since the last one. We could be approaching 2 years since the last social.
Just over a year, I believe.
Okay, we're somewhere in between a year and
But
maybe
no,
a year
I
and a half,
actually
whatever.
look
And,
forward to it because it's a number one.
well, the
it's
market has
Thursday
changed
night.
too. There's so many new. Every time I turn around, there's new bands. Which for a small market, that to me, the fact that I could still go out on a Friday night and see a band I've never seen before, it still floors me. So some of the bands playing right now don't even know what the midday social is. It's almost like when we talk about like, oh, kids growing up now, they don't even know what a phone with a cord is. That's how rapidly it changes.
Back in my day.
Back in my day.
I've been in the music industry, we'll call it, in Rhode Island for over 20 years.
Yeah.
And I'm 450, 500 bands that I've worked with
Yeah.
at this point, and I'm still stumbling across people I've never seen before.
Yeah.
You know, people don't know who I am. I don't know who they are.
That's why I've always personally, like, that's the compilation's a snapshot of this too, but my philosophy, and I've already said this about booking, I tried to move around, but like, I also try to get out of my own circle. So in one night, I could be over at Columbus Theater, you know, watching the Rice Cakes upstairs, and then over at News Cafe, then over at Firehouse, then over at Fat. I like to get out of. So I've shown up to places where I don't know a single person in the room, and to me that's a good feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Because you end up everybody knows everybody.
Honestly, I like that.
Yeah,
because
I
you
do
sit in the
too.
corner, no one bothers you. You don't have to have that.
Well,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love having conversations with people, but there's some nights where you just don't want to.
I also think it's dangerous, and I think a lot of promoters are guilty of this. When you do anything, whether it's owning a venue, promoter, whatever, it's easy to surround yourself with people where you sort of become the king of your domain. So you're surrounding yourself with people that really respect what you're doing. And I've always made it a point to step outside that. There's obviously a very loyal, you know, what we say, like the midday family and stuff like that, like close friends and stuff. And I give other people, like Rob DeGay, you'll see him all over the city. You know, that's why the promoters I've mentioned, I love and respect, because they're not just at their own events. In one given night, you could look around a room and see Nate Coslino, Rob DeGay, Dave Vegan, Nina, myself. You can see 5 or 6 promoters at one event supporting somebody else's event.
Yep.
You know, there's a lot of people I can't say that for, where you never see them outside of.
Just named pretty much the diehards that were at the ill-fated Comic-Con after party that Tony and I did.
Why was it ill-fated?
Because I think you guys were the only ones that really showed up
Oh,
on stage.
that's just.
But no, I mean, the bands were awesome. It just was, there was so much going on that
Yeah.
night. But I'm going to cut that short because we are running dangerously low on time.
Okay.
We have a few more songs that we have to get to. The first one is going to be Cruel Miracle. The name of the song is Just Take It Now. And we'll be back in a minute.
Like
All right, Night Outers.
Always wait for the point.
Sorry.
False alarm.
Is that premature?
We had a little misfire over here.
We had premature enunciation.
We could just say that was all you, that you said all right, my night outers or whatever you just said, and then you gave that beautiful scream.
Alrighty.
Yeah,
that
we
was me.
pretend that was you, like you're part of that track.
That was actually Cruel Miracle. The name of the song is Just Take It Now. In studio, we have Davey Moore, who has very critical information about the upcoming Midday Social.
Yeah, to finish the thought that we were on before we went to the to Sadie Cruel Miracle, who Sadie sings for. I want to get that on the books as soon as possible, but the year-end's going to be so busy, so the first one, and it will definitely happen, is probably going to be January, February, so I have enough time to put it together.
Yep.
And I'm going to try to put it at the Met if they're not, if they're still willing to work with me after the last two. And if not, obviously I'll go to Alchemy or somewhere. But that's one of those events I'm still going to move around the city because the point of it is to showcase Providence.
Exactly.
Not everything I do is going to go to my own personal venue.
And I got to say, and I said it before, I attribute all of my success to the Midday Social because,
I don't think you should say. I think the fact that you're a hard worker might play a role in that too.
I am a
thank you.
networking whore.
Yeah, well, that's what that event
But,
is.
You between the Midday Social and just getting together with some of the local promoters, I owe it all to you guys. I mean,
we should probably say for people that don't know what that is, it's a networking event. Obviously, we would bring out every radio station promoter, everyone that we can at least, venue owner, publication, anyone involved in local music and arts.
Any type of music involvement.
Yeah,
whatsoever.
and the band, it's free. Open to all genres, free.
Well, to show up is free. To drink costs money.
Well, that's you're buying. You're buying a product. That's your choice. I'm not forcing it on you. Please drink.
Please drink. Please drink a lot.
Buy me a drink. But yeah, are we closing up? Because
I think we're pretty much done.
I'm gonna do a shout out. I want to thank God. No, I'm just kidding. Tim Davis is another one. He was at the Spot Underground.
Yep.
He's been instrumental as well. He's another promoter too. I should mention one of the good guys out there. Doing it what I would consider the right way.
Cool.
As opposed to your friends, Eddie.
My friends? I have a lot of friends.
I know you do.
And honestly,
I would never put you in the middle of anything. I was taking probably an inside shot. Nobody even knows what I'm talking about.
When people ask me to show up, I show up.
You should. It's a paid gig. Absolutely.
Paid or not, I just show up.
Oh, you're a good man.
I got to get out of the house. I've been married for years.
I should probably thank my wife, Michelle, too, for putting up with me.
Well, my wife, that's an understanding. If it wasn't for her, I'd be dead right now. And I will readily admit that at any point. A couple of guys I do have to say hi to, though. Louis Castellanos from Cruel Miracle. He posted up on one of the posts that were up. Jenkins B. Jenkins. You know who that is?
I don't know.
Have you heard of Frenzy of Tongues?
Oh, yeah.
He's the lead singer for Frenzy of Tongues.
Yeah.
Todd Bowes, of course.
Todd was just in Desk. He's working on a new project.
I'm surprised. One and done with Desk.
They were never meant to be, and they're amazing. And I actually fought for them because they have Boston and Providence members.
Yep.
And they were coming at it swinging. They came out swinging as a Boston band. I'm like, no, you're a Providence band.
Of course, we also have Julie Bozek and Aaron Frank also.
Julie's in Cat Has Claws.
Yep. So all these guys popped in, at least threw a like on some of the stuff that we had up going. Rob Duguay, he's a hell of a guy. he puts up with us, and pretty much every time we talk about him, we got a bad mouth him because he's such a nice guy. He puts up with it. Everyone else, thank you for listening. We won't be able to get to the whole song because
before we do that, please find Midday Records, Alchemy, Midday Presents. All that stuff's on Facebook, Twitter, all the social media.
Beautiful.
Grinder.
We're gonna leave here with
the hell.
Cat Has Claws. I'm just gonna ignore that last one, Mr. Jones. Thank you very much.
I did get Snapchat.
Eddie doesn't even know what Grinder is. He thinks it's a big sandwich.
Judging by the way you had your hands, no.
I'm doing that on Grinder too.
I'm
You,
sure what
you might find a big sandwich.
All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up. Don't forget, if you want to be part of the show, mynightout@verizon.net. I'm going to not tell you the rest. You can listen to what happened earlier. The name of the song is Cat Has Claws.
That's the name of the band.
The song is Out West.
Yeah, you are done. Here comes my next shot of Jameson.
Have a good night, everybody.
Always too careful, calculating every step is kind of a miracle. I still have your respect. Landing on my 2 feet with only myself to blame. You make me complete. Move out west, we need a change. Soul is racing a heart that's chasing the wrong one. Makes me feel all alone. I've been here before, but I forgot that pain of slipping through the black hole on off the rainbow game. Now that we collided, stories no longer strange. Lonely hearts are hiding. Move out west, we need a change. Soul is facing a heart that's chasing the wrong one. Makes me feel all alone. Soul is facing a heart that's chasing the wrong one. Makes me feel all alone. Money speaks so loud, growing with our age. Make your mother so proud. Move out west, we need a change.